Welcome to my 2018 NBA mock draft. With the number one pick, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton, a 7'1" center with the skill set of Karl-Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid, but built like a young Dwight Howard. His footwork in the post, the ability to stretch the floor, his strength and finishing ability has GMs raving. There's some question marks regarding his defense, but he has all the physical tools to be a great defender if he's committed. Also, having a vet like Tyson Chandler on the team to mentor him, who's a former Defensive Player of the Year winner, is a plus. Ayton, Devin Booker, Josh Jackson, TJ Warren will be a great young nucleus to a new process in the West Coast. With the number 2 pick, the Sacramento Kings select Luka Doncic, a 6'8" point forward, shooting guard, whatever you want to call him. The kid can do it all. With court vision like Ben Simmons and the crafty scoring ability of Manu Ginobili and Danilo Gallinari, Doncic will fit well in the NBA. He thrives in the open court and the pick and rolls where he picks defenses apart. There's some question marks regarding if he'll be able to stay in front of guards in the NBA level, but it'll be hard to pass on a Slovenian prodigy. And with Vlade Divac as the GM of the Kings, it's pretty much a given that Doncic will be selected if available. Doncic will slot right next to De'Aaron Fox and Rising Stars MVP Bogdan Bogdanovic for a promising young trio in Sacktown. With the number 3 pick, the Atlanta Hawks select Marvin Bagley, 6'11" power forward who skipped the senior year of high school to dominate college basketball. He has a Morris Stoudemire athleticism and finishing ability under the rim with a skill set that mirrors Julius Randle and some Chris Bosh. We don't know if Bagley's a power forward or center on the next level, and he needs to improve on his jump shot and defense, but getting drafted to a team that's going through a rebuilding process like the Hawks will give Bagley the time to become the special player he's projected to be. With the number 4 pick, the Memphis Grizzlies select Mo Bamba, a 7' center with a 7'10" wingspan. Bamba could be the next unicorn in the NBA. With mobility and athleticism you don't often see for someone his size, and a shot blocking ability like a Rudy Gobert. Talent aside, Bamba has GMs raving about how smart and poised he is for a 20-year-old. All things teams want for a franchise player. Translated to the NBA, Bamba will need to get stronger and continue to work on his newly adjusted jump shot. With Marc Gasol getting older and complaining about rebuilding and losing last season, it's time for the Grizzlies to part ways with him and slot Bamba as the replacement for the future. With the number 5 pick, the Dallas Mavericks select Jaren Jackson Jr., a 6'11" center/power forward. At 18 years old, Jackson's one of the youngest players in the draft with a huge upside whose stock is rising. His skill set reminds me of Miles Turner. He can stretch the floor and block shots with the best of them. Jackson will need to get stronger and improve on his rebounding, but after dodging the Nerlens Noel failure in Dallas, Jackson will be the great counterpart to all-rookie point guard Dennis Smith Jr. Side note, knowing Mark Cuban, I wouldn't be surprised if he swings for the fence here and selects Michael Porter Jr., who reportedly caught their eye during a private workout recently. With the number 6 pick, the Orlando Magic select Trae Young, a 6'2" point guard. He was the most glorified and criticized college player this past season. Fans went from loving him and comparing him to Steph Curry to not calling him overrated and wanting nothing to do with him. Young has the shot making and shot selection of a Steph Curry, but I see a better passing version of Isaiah Thomas. No, not the Hall of Famer. A good first step with good handles that keeps the defenders on their toes. You can't get too close because he'll drive right by you, and you can't sag off because he'll pull up from anywhere. The green light is to always shoot with him. Shot selection, getting stronger, and defense are the main things Young will need to improve on at the next level. The Magic finally got rid of the point guard whose hair blocked his own shot, so the obvious choice here is to replace him with Trae Young. With the number 7 pick, the Chicago Bulls select Michael Porter Jr., a 6'11" small forward power forward. He was the number 1 player coming out of high school but dealt with a back injury that kept him out for most of the season. Injuries aside, Porter reminds me of a lesser athletic Kevin Durant mixed in with some Paul George and Rudy Gay. A tall, small forward power forward who can handle the ball like a guard and score off the dribble. At the next level, he needs to get stronger, improve on his ball handling and defense. But Porter's health is the biggest question mark in this draft, which is why he's slated to drop as low as 9 on certain mocks. At 7, this will be a steal for Chicago. Porter, Markkanen, LaVine, and Chris Dunn will have Chicago competing for a playoff spot in the East in a few years. With the number 8 pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Collin Sexton, a 6'2" point guard. The young bull is one of the most fierce competitors in the draft, with an attacking mentality like Russell Westbrook and the speed of John Wall. He's a two-way player who gets after it on both ends of the floor. Shot selection, his jump shot, and getting others involved are things he would need to improve at in the NBA. Sexton would be the perfect player to select to either start over if LeBron leaves, or to give the Kings something he missed this whole season with the departure of Kyrie Irving. With the number 9 pick, my New York Knicks select Mikal Bridges, a 6'7" forward with a 7'2" wingspan. Bridges is your prototypical 3-and-D player. He uses his long arms to alter shots and invade passing lanes, and has a 3-point shot that improved each season at Villanova. Bridges reminds me of a more athletic Otto Porter. The pairing of Mikal and Frank Ntilikina could be a long-arm, pesky defensive duo, especially under the guidance of Coach Fizdale. Bridges will be 22 when the season starts. What is his upside? His strength, ball handling, creating his own shot are all things he would need to improve at in the NBA. If the Knicks do select Bridges, they will be playing it safe by drafting for need instead of the best available player. As a Knicks fan personally, I would either try to trade up in the draft, go for someone younger with a higher upside, or even trade the 9th pick to the Clippers in a package for the 12th and 13th pick. With the number 10 pick, the Philadelphia 76ers select Lonnie Walker, a 6'4" guard with a 6'10" wingspan. Walker could do it all. He's one of the most athletic players in the draft. He has the ability to finish over you at the rim, has the shooting stroke to knock down the 3-point shot, and the physique and tools to become a legit two-way player in the NBA. Lonnie Walker reminds me of a mixture of Victor Oladipo and Iman Shumpert. Shot selection and playmaking are things Walker needs to improve at. With J.J. Redick as a free agent, the Sixers could draft Walker to fit the starter shooting guard role. He fits the up-tempo play of Ben Simmons, and with the cap space, they could go after players like LeBron James or Paul George. With the number 11th pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Wendell Carter Jr., a 6'10" power forward center. Wendell didn't get to showcase all his skill set at Duke due to Marvin Bagley, but he did show enough to gain some attention from NBA scouts. He's a do-it-all big man that can defend, post you up, and stretch the floor, similar to Al Horford. Carter could go as high as 7 to Chicago and fit alongside Markkanen, but I have him falling in the draft due to fit and need. He's not the most athletic and mobile guy, but his length helps in most situations. Going into the NBA, Carter will need to work on his perimeter defense and finishing around the rim. With the number 12 pick, the LA Clippers select Miles Bridges, a 6'6" small forward / power forward. Miles would have been a top 10 pick last year, but decided to stay one more year at Michigan State to pursue a national championship. Statistically, he stood the same, but during his sophomore year, he showcased his improved ability to score off the dribble. He's one of, if not the most explosive athletes in the draft, and he's built like a linebacker. He has the physical tools to finish around the rim with the best of them, and has an improved jump shot to hit the open three. He reminds me of a mixture of Larry Johnson, Tobias Harris, and Vince Carter. At 6'6", with an average wingspan, the question remains, what position does he play in the NBA? Bridges needs to improve on his defensive effort and ball handling at the next level. The Clippers traded away an injury-prone Blake Griffin last year and now have the potential to draft the next human highlight reel in Miles Bridges. With the number 13 pick, the LA Clippers select Robert Williams, a 6'9" power forward center. Williams is an elite athlete who's a pick-and-roll lob machine, an active offensive rebounder, and an elite shot blocker. The next level, Williams will need to revamp his jump shot and use his athleticism to become a better rebounder. DeAndre Jordan clearly wants out of LA, and the Clippers have the option to draft his replacement and create a new Lob City with Robert Williams and Miles Bridges. With the number 14th pick, the Denver Nuggets select Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a 6'6" point guard with a 6'11" wingspan. It's no secret the Nuggets are looking for a point guard, and Alexander would be the perfect fit for the rising Nuggets, whose backcourt currently consists of a score-first point guard in Jamal Murray. He's an active defender using his almost 7-foot wingspan and his crafty finishing ability around the rim. He's not the greatest of athletes. He needs to improve on his jump shot and get stronger in the NBA. But with Will Barton leaving in free agency, Murray will most likely side over to the 2 spot, which will leave the starting point guard role for Alexander to take. Let me know what you guys think of my mock draft. Leave your mock drafts in the comments below. I'll be responding to everyone down there.